Hey everyone, it's June 3rd. So I'm going to go ahead and real quick just start because I want to go over a little bit of a few things. Some of the stuff may be a little redundant just to make sure because I know we've had Memorial Day weekend and all that. Just to kind of touch people up on what we've been doing. So I'm going to start. This is actually what I will be doing. I'm not going to type anything in this, but I'm going to kind of walk through. And I can kind of send this to anybody. I can post this in the Facebook group as well. This is kind of what I do in the one-on-ones, but it's before we go over to actually the topics of the night, just to make sure everybody's good. So everybody sees that this is your project setup flow. The reason we try to tell everybody set these 7 projects up over here and their projects on the sidebar, and try to set them up in a row. Obviously, you guys know I've been building for almost 2 years, so mine's convoluted. But if you guys are able to do this, it's not a requirement. It's not going to affect anything. It just helps build muscle memory. Because really, for the first 30 days or so, you're not going to be working this way for long. You're pretty much teaching your
Yeah.
system you want to
Once
operate.
you get that
And
course set up, it's just a matter of plugging the stuff in and out and just monitoring at that point. But it takes about a week to 10 days.
yeah. So you guys want to do this kind of this order, the buy box, do your markets. If you guys need help with the market guide, let me know. I'll be making one for Georgia and one for Florida tomorrow. And then also then you have your comps tool, your MRA, your ARV rehab scope of work, and skip tracing. Keep in mind, rehab scope of work, you want to have a rehab and scope of work project, but we don't have, I don't have a PDF for that. So what I tell everybody to do is go into your core up here, your core, your RCIC core, go to modes and go to rehab scope of work mode. And in the rehab scope of work mode, do all your rehab scope of work, copy and paste it or save it to a PDF there, come back here, and then put it in your rehab and scope of work project. But everything else we have, there's 2 PDFs that I put out. Just one was trying to consolidate everything, and basically says core operator guide, and it's in both Facebook groups and the files tab. If you guys get that, it's all those prompts that I was sending everybody because a lot of things everybody here probably got everything in like 5 PDFs. Now there's one, which should help you guys so you can actually just go and it has the prompts so you can just work your way down. Here's the prompt. Here's how to do your markets. Here's the prompt, and here's how to do comps. Here's the prompt and all that for MRA. So that we can just follow that out of one PDF. The reason you want to have separate projects is, like I said, you're training each project. So you want to have the buy box where your buy box is, markets, and then obviously comps, MRA, stuff like that. In the next week, we're gonna start getting into. You guys see there are 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 is basically 8 is offer generation, 9 is capital is lender matching for capital passport, and all deals all the way through 10 through 12 getting to transaction coordination and title. There's 12 of them. So we're going to make sure everybody's done with, knows how to use all 7. I'm hoping by the end of tomorrow night, but definitely by the end of next week, everybody needs to be kind of, if you need a little help, let me know. We'll do a one-on-one. We'll get everybody to this point, and then we'll start on 8 through 12, and that'll finish everybody up because I want to get everybody to RCIC systems and all the apps. We'll go a little bit over those tonight before we end. But you guys want to start with BuyBox prompt. You want to fill in your BuyBox details, and you guys know that's in core. Go fill out your BuyBox. It'll walk through the process, spend some time there, copy and paste it, and then send that prompt and come over to your BuyBox project and paste that into the BuyBox project as well. And that's what you want to do there. So fill in the BuyBox details first before sending the prompt. Copy the completed BuyBox information. Copy the first project and label it BuyBox. And then it says paste the completed BuyBox information in that project. Then send the BuyBox prompt. This creates your first source of truth project. And then step 2 is rinse and repeat. So all these other prompts, you guys are going to see what you guys see these ones up here, markets, comps, and all that. Just rinse and repeat the exact same. You won't have to go and put it into the core. There's not a in core for markets and stuff, but you want to do that. The rinse and repeat is for your markets over here. So ideally, if you can have all 7 together, it's good. Like I said, no big deal. Don't stress if you've got something in the middle. Now you guys can pin them. You guys see these little pins. See, there's a thing over here where you guys can go and you guys see pin chat. It's under Kevin's picture. It says pin chat. You guys can go pin that. Or you guys can go pin these conversations over here. It'll actually walk you through over here, unpin chat or chat, share, rename, all that. So you guys can use pins. So if you just want to have 7 pins for your 7 projects, you can do that. That just makes it easier for you guys to do it. And these are the labels, BuyBox, markets, comps, MRA, ARV. So over here we got all these labels. Why this matters? Projects are the operator's command center. The prompt creates the output, but the project remembers the work. Remember, everything in projects, it remembers it. Stuff in chat, you have a memory. Once the memory is full, you have to, it'll send you a little pop-up up here that says, hey, your memory is full. It gives you the link, you go click on it, it takes you to where you can clear out your memory, and then you can restart it. But you don't really have as much, it doesn't save everything like it does in projects in chat. So that's kind of important to do that right now. So like I said, I'll go back up here real quick to core. And just remind you guys where the project is. Set up or update my BuyBox. So when you guys do that first project, like I was saying, your project's over here, BuyBox. Here it's gonna walk you through this. I'm not gonna read it line by line, but you guys have your BuyBox card, right? You just basically copy and paste this, and I'm using my mouse. Then go copy and paste that. Now you've got your structured example right here, how to fill it out. Now let's say you get down here, and you don't like wholesale, you don't like Burr, just delete them. You can just do this, do the copy, paste, delete. You can put as much as you want. You guys want to spend 20 to 30 minutes here. Really be detailed, put a lot of information. Remember, nobody, including me, can see what you put in there. So it's all safe. Fill this out. Definitely put a lot of notes in there. This is going to go through your handle, what it wants you to call you, what you wanted to call you. Your markets, city, county, and zip codes. County and zip codes are the most important to get right. It'll figure out the rest. Asset types, your strategy, what you're doing, wholesaling, flipping, tax lanes, whatever. Price range, equity, discount requirement, what your condition tolerance, light, medium, heavy, tear down. Your preferred signals. Do you like foreclosures? Do you like vacancy? Do you like probate? What do you like? Timeline, how fast do you want to act, close, or deploy? How fast can you operate? What your capital position is. If it's all cash, you need an HML, you need a private lender, joint venture, non, what do you need, and all your notes. After you do that, like I was saying before, it's going to say probably 30 to 40 minutes tops. You got all your red flags. It's going to tell you all the red flags of how to fill this out and what you want to do then is actually fill this out. Before you press the blue with the arrow on it to send prompt, copy it again, then send the prompt. And then you guys want to go over to your projects, right? And that's where you guys will want to come over here to your projects. And let me see where mine is. Yeah, if you got your BuyBox project over here, make sure I've got mine. So yeah, you'll have your project one over here for BuyBox. I have that's different than the BuyBox setup. You guys want to come over here into your BuyBox and put it in there and save it there. And so that's actually the best way to do it. Let me see if I can get it. There you go. So if you got BuyBox. So now this is where I want to come over and just paste that. Whatever you just wrote. I mean, obviously I didn't fill mine out, but paste that, then put it here. Guess what? Now your BuyBox is in here. So what happens now when you guys get your leads, you get your NADs, your NODs, all your stuff in the AHJs, all the paperwork for that deal. Now you got chats, right? So you can click on this chats button under the project under BuyBox, start putting those in there, start putting that information, copy and paste, CSVs, PDFs, everything, any kind of documentation you can add to, and that's where you're going to start putting your BuyBox in. You're not going to be doing this after about 30 days as much. You'll be working from your prompt bar. So keep in mind what you're doing this way is you're building muscle memory, so to speak, and putting all these together, just working the system down, going from BuyBox to your markets, that kind of stuff. All the way through comps. Like I said, that one PDF has all the information you need. I'll come up to prompts real quick. I'm gonna go back to projects, and I'm gonna go ahead. Actually, let me go to. I'm just gonna go to the R&D one. I have a research and development one. So I studied today. I was trying to help somebody find a clouded title. So in this one, let me see if I can get it. gonna go in real quick and see if I can. I might have to come back to it in a second. I'm gonna go see what this bar look like. Core operator guide. And you guys will see this. This is actually in Files tab in both groups. So I'm going to go ahead and say, please go over this PDF on the canvas. Zoom participants. I'm sure you guys will see this is actually, this goes into everything, guys. So you guys can pull this down if you need it. I can send it to you, but it is in both files tab. And so this one, guys, will go into, I just put the wrong one by accident. Sorry, guys, I was helping my friend Paul with his roofing company, and this is the operator guide I put together for his project.
I was going to say, I thought we were in a different realm, or you were going back in time or something, because it looks a lot like roofing to me too.
Yeah, I know. I just put in the operator guide for Paul's
8 storm seasons on that stuff.
Well, no, because it's really important. I'm going to help him out because he's actually our CFO. You guys might meet him at one point because he'll actually be doing a lot of stuff with us. But let me go ahead and make sure I put it in there. It should say core operator guide. Make sure I get the right one.
Yeah, you've got several of them. It's just have you put any of them in order at this point?
Not in here.
Something we might want to think about doing.
No, I don't need it in here. I mean, I don't normally have to go back and find it. I'm just showing it in here.
So I think we need to do is get it organized into a master file with different, just one file with all of them in there at one time instead of having them individually sent out. Need an updated manual, I guess, with all that in there. Probably wouldn't hurt.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. This is where it gets interesting.
So I have these. There is one that's in there. Like I said, it is the one that's in zip is the one you guys need. I didn't put that his in there. I just had it just came up because I called it the same thing for him because I gave him an operator guide for what I built. I built him an app for him to advertise because we had some huge hailstorms, and that way people can go on and they can. It's pretty cool. People can actually file claims and stuff through it. So let's see if it comes up with this PDF. But this one there's also the foreclosure guide, guys, and you can go on the foreclosure guide, even though it says Colorado. So this one is for the air. This is what we call the air and title intelligence engine. So this is great, guys. This is a new one I just created like last week. And it goes through these PDFs. I'm just showing you what these PDFs do. It's going to go through and walk you through all these processes. It's pretty sweet that way. Actually, let me do this. I know what actually it will really pop for you guys. Let me do this way. Let me go into, actually, let me show you this. Actually, what it looks like, because that's a PDF. But what you guys can also do is Netlify, where you guys are going to be hosting these apps. Keep in mind, guys, these walk you through them. You want, Netlify, nobody in this group's ever going to need probably more than the free of the, I'm paying $20 a month. You guys can imagine why, because the more you do, the more, there's $9.20. Most of you guys are putting 2 or 3 of these apps that we have on there. You're never going to need more than the free one on Netlify. So don't worry, that. But you guys go into these are all these apps that I showed you guys, and we can actually help you guys put them together. But like I said, what you guys have is, let me pull up one of these for you guys real quick, so I can show you guys what these guides are. So, guys, this is the mine, the Intel mine, just to show you an example. And so you guys have access to that. All the zips you guys will see in the files tab. If you see the zip, it'll say like Intel V2, like this one. It has your HTML to launch the actual tool, which I'll show you in a second. and it has this, and it has a PDF guide. So you got two guides. But if you guys can see this, let me make sure. Let me get back to it so you guys can see it. So these are the guides I was talking about. So you guys can go through it once you put your Anthropic key in there. This is pretty sweet. This actually walks you guys through the whole process. Who's built.
And this is where it gets really, really interesting. This little nugget here, and there's a couple others that came out since then over the last week that you really need to take a look at. To start with the manuals first. It makes it easier to understand by a long way. And watch what Mate's doing here, because he's going down through this thing step by step, literally, and then side to side, to pick stuff up and drop stuff off. If you can understand that, understand the highway system, he can take you on a trip, literally, from one end to the other of this thing. It's really cool.
I'll show you guys the highway.
From here going forward, it's going to be nice. It's going to be really interesting.
So this gives you guys, and so you guys are doing these one-on-ones and all that, but if you guys follow these guides, there's a PDF guide you can read, but you follow this, it walks you through the whole process. It gives you all the definitions. You have to get your Anthropic key to run all these. If you guys were to run Anthropic, and you put in there the amount you want, $5, $20, I told them don't hit auto right now, because with Anthropic, you'll get it tells you where to go to get that. You get a key, make sure you save it. It's a long number. It starts with SK. They don't let you create your own. So make sure you save it. You can change it. There's a process. But if you most people don't hit auto right now. And I put $20 in mine, guys. I've only gone through like $4. And you guys think about all the stuff I do. It generally charges like 2 to 5 cents per call. And a call means when it's going out to, it basically scrapes. It's not like the internet. It hits everything. So it walks you through all the processes. It walks you through the guide. This tells you what's everything in here. You got a function, you got the quad, you got a README, you got Netlify. That stuff you kind of really don't need to know about. Unless you really want to deep dive. This is the Intel mine, guys. I decided I did not want to build I didn't want to build a scraper. You guys see everybody's building a scraper. I built a scraper. I said, I want a strip mine. And Kevin can tell you just about an hour ago, we did a one-on-one, and I actually asked RCIC. I said, if I just dig straight through earth, from my hometown in Colorado.
Yeah, and you ended up somewhere in the middle of the Indian Ocean, down by some kind of French settlement or something. Or I don't think that's where it ended up.
500 miles, and I was going to get burned, incinerated, and all kinds of inconveniences on the way. It actually said that. So
this thing gets a little loopy sometimes, and like I said, that's just a little bit of entertainment I was talking about. Every once in a while, they'll do some really, really weird stuff. And you just got to kind of have to laugh at it. And this is one of those times.
To make that point, though, it was actually triggered. It doesn't come up like that. It's just ordinary. I asked it a specific question, trying to be, it was at the end of the one-on-one. I was just trying to be a little funny. So you're going to get the response that way. It doesn't come up like that if you're doing normal work. These are your 4 mining channels: social media intelligence. So it's Facebook, real estate groups, Twitter, X, deal threads, LinkedIn, capital posts, Instagram, property signals, Reddit, investor communities, high velocity perishable signals, actors in 2 to 4 hours. There's 85 different places in social media. It doesn't include that you can put 500, you guys can plug in as many, if you guys are in 20, 30 Facebook groups for real estate, you can plug them all in here as well. There's also forum and community intel, bigger pockets, connected investors, REA club, REIA chapters, syndication boards, off-market deal competitor, higher credibility, longer shelf life, actions in 24 to 40 hours. Distressed property signals. Here you guys go. Your notice of election demand. These are the signals. These are the NEDs, what we've been pulling up from the counties the last few weeks. Tax delinquency rules, probate estate sales, auction activity, price reduction, velocity, distressed, multifamily indicators, time critical. Then you get into capital lending intel, DSCR programs, bridge lending, hard money rate sheets. It's going to give you a lot of stuff. JV, it's going to give you a lot of lender programs. Like I said, DSCR, syndications, private equity. Then we get into 7-axis intelligence scoring, and I'll walk you through it so you don't have to worry about here it's going to tell you this. So one, here's the breakdown right here of these 7 items: opportunity, quality, urgency, credibility. There's your capital fit, market momentum, distress level, verification, confidence. Then you guys get into here's the complete scoring strategy. Then you got your running intelligence sweeps that talks about how to run them. So in here it talks about how to run all this. and it gives you your query patterns. And it tells you this. And guess what? It's not that once you actually get on the actual app. So you want to download this as well. But once you get on the actual app, it's pretty simple. It talks about your operational, 7 a.m., 8 a.m., 12 p.m., 3 p.m., 5 p.m. What you can set to run every day. Your full format export engine. You can export to CSV, Excel, PDF, Docx, Word. It talks about your filters. Here you go. In 5 minutes, you can host it on Netlify, just like I'm doing. And it talks about how to set this up on Netlify. It takes less than 5 minutes. Getting your production API proxy, it's already there. You don't have to worry. Once you put this HTML in there, this is already programmed into it. You don't have to do anything. This is really just if you want to learn how the process works because you ever want to do your own signal response protocol and all that. So it gets into all that stuff, guys. So this is like, we have these guides, and I'm actually this week I'll be finishing the PDF guides because we have PDF guides and we have these. So let me show you Intel mine just to show you when this, and then I'll show you guys the highway because that's the one that we generate that access key for you guys. So if you guys get into like Intel mine, what I just showed you guys, and this is Netlify, this is what you guys will use. You guys will go to deploys. I mean, it's pretty cool. You go down here and it walks you through it, how to set this up, and then you got this, then it deploys for you. And you guys can change the name. You don't have to call it Intel mine. You can call it whatever you want. And this is actually,
as he's going through this stuff, take note of the date that this thing started. The date on this one is May 27th. The one that you're looking at is when it was created.
So up here, and it talks to you in that guide about how to change this. Here's your Intel feed. Here's your workflow. Here's your system architecture. And all of these apps, guys, there's going to be a light versus dark screen toggle. Sometimes it'll look like this. Some of them, it's a banana. So if you see a banana, wonder why it's there. Click on it. It just changes the screen from light to dark display. In some cases, it's a light bulb. So you guys, like I was saying, you go to social media, real estate forums, distressed properties. You guys go down. Here's all the signals. Here's all your export, CSV, PDF, Excel. This is all your system architecture. There's 7-axis scoring, signal scoring that I just showed you in the guide. It's right here. Then it goes down in here. You got geo intelligence mapping, lender appetite tracking engine, capital matching systems, your workflow automation, predictive market distress modeling, AI acquisition agents, investor intelligence guides. Don't worry about like, hey, it looks really sophisticated. It is. That guy's going to walk you through it. You guys will have this down in under an hour. And you guys will be operating it with it. It's pretty cool. You guys can do, for your syndications. You get your private equity deal flow, all this. You guys can put in, here's your target, your market, your property type, lender size. You guys go fill all that in. Go exactly what you're looking for. It tells you how to do that. You can press execute. Press execute. So I need a target first. So I have to put, I have to fill this out for that to work. But then once you get it, go and you do that, and it does all this work. It does your intelligence feed, your workflow, and all this. Go over and hit strip mine. Now mine's just operating off samples. Once you do all that initial work that I just showed you, and like I said, the guide walks you through it, and you do that, you come over to hit strip mine. You got your Anthropic key. That was a show. It just put on for you. So I just got all your information. So now it's going to come over here, and you got your hot markets and all that stuff. And you can actually then just export it. It's pretty cool that way. So if I want to go over here, I want to say, hey, I'm looking in what's distressed multifamily in Denver. Now I'll do my other show, right? So come back here and do that one. I want to look at what's available multifamily in Denver where I live. It's got all the programming. See, it's going through all the social media and all this. It's coming up here now. Obviously, I need my API key. But what it's going to end up coming up is you got your workflow and all that. It's going to come up and show you active leads, your urgency queue. Here's capital south, and you can click on all these. So, go through and put your API key in there and test it out. It's got all your activity, all your mining, syndication boards, private equity, social signals. And like I said, it's got all your system architecture. So that is pretty sweet. Like I said, all these guides make it easy so you can just go through and install these yourself. And let me show you a couple more of these. And you decide which ones you want. And then I'm going to put the Gumroad on Friday. Because when I put these on Gumroad for people who are you guys that are on the lifetime plan, they can go buy these. They're not cheap. Each one of these is like what you guys spent to get lifetime access. So I'll give you guys that Gumroad address anyway. Obviously, you guys own it, so don't buy anything there. But it has better product descriptions, so you guys can go through and then you can come back and just go to the zip files in the files tab in the Facebook groups, get whatever you guys want. So here's the social blaster. Let me show you that one, and then I'm going to show you the systems one because that's going to be the one that is structured. But this is your campaign builder, guys. So you can go and there's a guide for it. There's a guide for everything, and they're pretty simple. You guys go through and you got your campaign builder, you got your campaign output. You have to build it first. There's a reply engine, AI generated comment replies and objection handlers. Human approval required. I always make sure there's always a human decision. You guys are the human decision. Here's your tracker for your campaigns, and then you can start tracking all your history. This is all your integrations. Guess what, guys? Go high levels. You guys can come down here. It gives you all the fields. So this will help you connect to go high level. Here's all your settings.
This campaign program he's talking about right here, we're actually using it. We've been working with it for the last 2 or 3 days to try to put together a system marketing this to the general public. Yeah, so we're just now building it. We're kind of taking our experience with this a little bit and trying to finish that out a little bit because the results will speak for themselves if we could just get through one little kink. But it's been pretty good to use it. I think I've been having a pretty good time getting through the darn thing, just trying to get to this point. We can just get by this little hunch. I think everybody's going to like it.
So guys, there's 4 components of Capital Passport. This is the main one you guys will use. But we also have one called Cleaner that you want, and also one called Discovery. Cleaner will go in and clean up anything that maybe lenders are out of business because I'll show you in a second how you can click on their website. Mine aren't going to show up as well right now because I obviously didn't put my API key in there to go and power this up. When it's fully powered, there are 446 lenders, a total of 1,382 family office hedge funds, 50 international sources, 14 hard money. It's a pretty good opportunity. So you got your lender databases, capital sources. There's all these hedge funds, guys. And some of these you just got their names, and you can go through and once you power up Anthropic, your API, then these will actually light up and you can actually go click on them. You can't click on some of the lenders now because I did program that for some of the programming. You have a deal analyzer. You have borrow intake. So let's say you are a lending or you're brokering or you're connecting capital, you can actually start putting your borrowers in there. It walks you through that. This is your capital stack builder. You got your visualization, senior debt, mezzanine equity, all your stack imports. You have an AI assistant, guys, and all these. So make sure once you're hooked up, you can go up here. Hard money, you got DSCR, bridge versus hard money. You can go in your AI assistant, and obviously you guys can ask it questions and how it's structured.
Did you run the scrubber today?
Well, I'll show them the scrubber. There's a cleaner.
This thing is going to keep it all clean, and there won't be any duplications, and people that aren't going to be in business aren't going to be on the list. That's basically what it gets down to. We ran it 2 or 3 times the ones that we had. We spent about $5,000 trying to get this thing set up, and we got this company that basically they were just kind of getting their feet wet, and they were just basically selling lists. And we grabbed some of this, started working on it, and it started taking off. And then all of a sudden, the 506B and 506C, the SEC started exploding, changing things. So then you could be a broker, and then you get into this. So all of this put together, especially with this particular part of things, this is where if you want to know where your dynamite or your blasting cap is, this one right here, this little itty bitty section is it. Okay. And we're going to probably have results, hopefully by the middle of next week, be able to tell how it's working at that point in time. So we're trying to experiment with a little bit on a little different twist and see if we can get some results that way too. I think we're going to be fine with it.
So this is Market Dominator, guys. This is one you definitely want to look at. This should help you guys. It'll give you the top 10 leads per market. There's all the markets are in there. All 50 states are covered. 5 AI actions per lead. 100 offers per week is possible. This is the showroom for it. So I will put the actual link up there. So this is where we show it to people that aren't in the group. So the AI agent that finds the 10 most motivated sellers in any U.S. market run instant due diligence, generates data-backed offers, and matches it to cash buyers in 60 seconds. So you guys got lead automation, instant due diligence, skip trace, and outreach. And like I said, this is you guys just connect your Anthropic key and put it on Netlify on your own account. You host it yourself. AI generated offers, cash buyer matching to our database, export everything. Then you guys get in, you got enter any market or zip, review rank deal dashboard, run AI due diligence, skip trace, generate offers, match cash buyers, and close. You guys get down here, there's a dashboard, like on the actual, the Dominator, the actual one. This is like the showroom. This shows you what the dashboard looks like. If you want Dallas, Atlanta, you put all the markets in here. It'll give you all the details. You guys get down in here, it's enterprise grade. Quad AI, it has React, Invite, Netlify Edge function. Netlify Edge is like the premier of Netlify. You guys won't be in there on this, you will, but anything else, you guys don't want to do Edge yet because Edge is like really, they actually do charge for Edge, but they do have the functions for it. So if you really get really busy, you can connect to that instantly. Prop stream, Adam, you guys know batch leads. Any API, your API key is never exposed in anything, guys. Nobody can ever see what you're doing. It's never exposed. I can't even see it. 100% secured. Everything in RCIC, including core and GPT, nobody can see what you're doing. There's light and dark mode. CSV and JSON are the two types, or a couple types of the how to export. 50 state compliance notes. This is to start your nationwide takeover. So this is what obviously we're going to sell it for a little bit more. A one-time Gumroad, and there's a white label for everybody. That's the showroom version. I do have, like I said, when you guys in the zip file, you guys can download Market Dominator, and you guys can anything you guys get out of there, the zip drives you guys have, you already own it. Just decide what you want to get. There's Market Dominator. I'll show you one more, and then I said we're going to look at RCIC Highway.
Yeah, you guys have seen the front page, so to speak. Actually, it's like a label that he sends with everything, right? That 3D, really cool looking deal. That says a lot when you can put that together, especially with all this different stuff, and then you can package everything that you produce into that, make it a presentation or whatever, and just send this shit out to everybody and their brother, and you're going to get some really good results. Okay, this pretty much speaks for it right here. This little itty bitty spot ties it all together. I'm thinking this is probably the heart of the whole thing is right here at this little section. And then you get into Passport. Yeah.
There's 4 components. There's the actual capital passport. This is the operator guide. And then we have the cleaner and we have discovery. Discovery, you guys can employ it and go out there and just like scrape, just like the miner, go out there and discover all the lenders, hard money, private money. It'll go out there and scrape if somebody's talking that they're loaning EMD or GAP. You can capture them and load it into your capital passport. If you guys on it, I'll show you in a second what we also will offer you guys. So there's a 5th part of it, which we'll talk about in about 2 or 3 minutes. And then, like I said, I'll show systems. Then we'll go back and finish in core. This is actually the operator guide. It talks about everything, guys. It's going to go through what's included, your deployment to Netlify, API configuration, white label customization. We'll get to that in a minute. AI assistant setup, platform modules, monetization models. We'll get to that in a second. Add-on services. We'll get to that. Compliance, support, and resources. So this is funding operator license. You guys already have this. So anything like I said that I'm showing you guys, you can do is go get it out of the files tab, and I'll have the rest of them, the guides and the few things that I have to still put up there.
That includes everybody going all the way back to PMA, because everything that we've had generated between now and then is in this. Okay, but I'm speaking. This is Capital Passport we're talking about here, and I'm speaking as one of the founders of the capital, private money industry. This part right here has the heart of that in it. And then here within the next, God, I hope that we could get this done by the end of the summer. I'm going to be dumping all of my stuff in here. Okay, I go back into the last century, and they kind of picked up where this is around 14 or 15 of this. Point being is this is going to get even more punchy, and this has got a very, very firm start on it. I don't think there's anything you can't do here, but there's more. If there's any improvements to be had, this thing will find it in there, because this goes over everything, including brokering private money, is in this. Okay.
good.
Just about every one of these modules you can make money with without actually getting into a real estate deal, if you really think about it. Okay. Because you can produce reports for people using these modules. And that's where this comes in, because if you know where the money's at and you can get the people the money, you're the guy or the gal or the it thing. Okay. This piece right here will do that for you under any circumstances. And it's going to get real strong real quick, because we're going to try to get people like the National Private Lenders Association in this. Now, can you imagine having those contacts in here that you could draw from?
Okay. You guys go monetization.
Yeah.
You guys can refer to broker fees. You can set your own up. They can do subscription, because your own system, which I'll show you in a second how that works. This will actually through everything set up just for your own use. You get down here and it starts talking about how you can monetize it further. You can start you can start charging people $47 to $97 a month. It tells you how to connect to Stripe and PayPal and those payment services. And then you guys get in done for your capital services, lender partnerships, feature placement, cohorts, and group programs. All the operators, see all these add-ons? These aren't what you guys are charging. This is what you guys can charge other people if you are ever interested in that. So if you guys go out there and and we'll help you on the first couple of ones, but you guys have the lifetime program. Anybody that comes in now that wants capital passports, it's not one of you guys, they would have to do these. We'll help you guys do these. The only thing you guys have to ever pay is like your Netlify and your Anthropic and your GPT stuff. Other than that, everything that we ever build is you guys get. So you guys can go through this and look at everything you guys got. Capital Partner Program. It has all the compliance and legal notes, supported resources. It goes through everything, guys. Let me show you one more component of that. And then real quick, I'll show you the so this is what we're talking about. This is what's out for other people. You guys already have this. All you guys got to do is go set up get that zip file, and you get get those 3 or 4 things. But this is for everybody else. They can get their own real estate capital operating system that you guys have. They'll pay $9.97 plus. We showed you all those add-ons, so they can actually white label. You can white label this, so you can call it whatever you want. You don't even have to even put RCIC on there. But it talks about all the capital sources. So you guys think about this. You guys go out there and promote this, and you get people in this group. You don't charge them. People are coming to this group, and you getting lenders and stuff, and people doing deals. It helps you. You got full white label rights. You can change the name and everything. It gets into mortgage brokers, capital advisors, real estate operators. I mean, you can get private lenders, capital networks. You guys can put it all together. That just helps you because you have more lenders to work with on your own deals. So then they can go in here and they get the license for $9.97. This talks about everything with the license. They can do all these ads for deployment, helping them with deployment, like done with you. Helping them deploy, helping them get their domain set up, their SSL, their API configuration, helping them brand. Then you get in that white label build out, so they can get all the branding and all that logos and all that. We can hook you up with Zishan. He can take care of all this. My guy in Pakistan, I've been working with since 2017. He can help you with all that. You just you refer them over to them. They pay for it.
How many of you folks know a realtor or have a relationship with a broker in real estate? All they do is they generate reports, and then title companies generating reports. You might even be able to help contract for counties generating some of their reports and some of their intelligence reports for the monthly stuff that they do, because it keeps track of all that. So this is the business in a box part of this, that whether you like it or not, one way or another, if, ands, or buts, you're making money with this thing. There's no excuse. Nobody else is going to end up having that capability. We're it.
Guys, okay. So,
These are developer keys that you have, and the people that are beginning to get the stuff from here going forward are going to not have that capability. So they're going to also be coming to you for those services as well and helping them get things going. Okay. This is the best way to get people to understand how to do real estate properly. By using this, you learn how to do that properly. Okay. And the process is completely clear. Everybody knows what's going on, and it's safer that way. It's hard to scam with this system. It's very difficult to scam with this system.
okay,
It's
so this is,
uncanny, but it's very secure. So keep that in mind when you're going through all these particular parts of this right here, where he's getting at. There's some serious money in his what he's talking about right here, and it doesn't cost
Hey,
you
guys.
anything.
This is what we hope to get the access key for. So, you know, we talked about it going to redeem, and then you go to dashboard. This is dashboard in the highway. It doesn't it doesn't have the light versus dark display on this screen. It does on the other screens inside of it. You guys go through here's HTIE Intelligence. You guys go to rcicsystems.com. You guys will see a menu, Light, Pro. There's Pro Monthly, Pro Annual, and there's Lifetime. This actually tells everybody what you get. You guys obviously have Lifetime. Don't have to worry about this, but if anybody asks you for it, because we're going to put out the affiliate program this weekend, and we'll talk about that next weekend on Builders this weekend. I built two more components, buyers and sellers, with a matching, and then we're building the affiliate program. Then we're pretty much done building. Then it's just tweaking and helping you guys. But this talks about what they get. There's capital passport. This is rehab and scope of work, transaction coordination. There's skip tracing. It's because it's really important. We did put the wholesale calculator and multifamily analyzer on the main screen, although there's other analyzers and tools. This is also the, you guys go look, this is actually the stack intelligence engine. You guys go over here, there's dark mode, there's light right there. So you guys got dark. This is like doing Morby deals. And you guys got, you know, you can walk through it. And it's got all the information on how to fill this out. You know, DSCR, closing, you put all your stack deals in here for the Morby deals. You get all that stuff. It's pretty cool that way. We made sure of that. You guys have your skip tracing, guys. This is skip trace intelligence. We got so many skip. You get the skip tracing war and prompt for DP for the core. This is skip trace intelligence. We also got skip tracing and market dominator. We got in GS. We got like 7 different places you can skip trace. You also, like I said, you got the dark and light toggle up here. You put the property address, the owner name if known. Here's the owner type, or the LLC, estate, corporation, absentee, what are they, trust, distress signal, tax delinquency, pre-foreclosure, probate, eviction file, code violation, those kind of things. Down here you can put in, here's how to pierce an LLC. Here's a strategy. Outreach script. It'll help you with outreach scripts. TCPA compliance for calling people. We have that through another system as well. It goes easier in depth. Here's your best skip trace services. If you do need to go to paid, you probably won't. I'm saying 95% of your skip trace is going to be done in some form or fashion at RCIC, but it does give you some recommended ones like LexisNexis. Think about LexisNexis because law enforcement uses it, lawyers use it, courts use it. It's actually a voicemail strategy. So this is all your skip tracing stuff. You guys go through that. There's your skip tracing, all the calculators. Let me go real quick to deal analyst. So if I go up here and I click on these, this is all click on, there's capital passport, there's rehab scope of work, there's transaction coordination. These are the 6 steps. There's actually 7, but these are the 6 primary steps of what I consider the highway. It's like an interstate highway. Your first off ramps, AHJs. We talked about that. Counties go in and set this up to do all your foreclosures, all your filings, all that stuff. You got deal analysis. So I'm gonna click on deal analysis, right? You go up here, there's your deal analyzer. Triage analysis, there's market reality assessment, ARV discovery, comps, decision memo, your decision memo. Describe your leader based property details in here, just like you guys are doing in core. Here's your that chain 13 prompt, it's all in here. You guys go, there's your dark versus light. You guys go into here now, and you guys are now into tools, right? So now you guys can click on tools. Guess what? I probably have to delete that just to make sure I don't get in trouble with Home Depot. But I did make it like, here's the Home Depot. I'm going to put big box, for real estate investors. I'll change that.
That's all we need is another, this will end up being Real Estate Depot or some kind of stupid thing. I don't know.
But yeah,
The
so
world
here you
doesn't
guys
need
go
another one of those.
analysis. There's your wholesale amount. There's your self-storage. There's your capital passport again, and there's your stack intelligence. Residential assisted living, BRRRR, short-term rentals, glamping. Yes, we have glamping. Land deals, anybody with land, mobile home, multifamily, TC. We will add. We're going to try to add RV parks, and I think I got one more to add, so there'll be two more down here. But you guys can go in here. Let's just say you're looking at doing short-term rentals, guys. You can go, it watches the whole process, looks, launch the analyzer. It goes through and does a room by room furnishing costs, 5 booking platforms, Airbnb, VRBO, direct, glamping hub, mixed. It talks about occupancy grid, Airbnb versus direct booking. It helps you plan out with your revenue, full STR operating P&L with cleaning labor, CapEx, reserve management percentage, all your DSCR, your 10-year pro forma. So you can click on that to do that, or you can actually just right here go down and yeah, it's pretty cool that way. We can get into RAL. Here's residential assisted living, guys. This gets all of our analyzers go deeper and deeper and deeper than anybody else's. This is residential assisted living.
You might want to make sure you have 2 or 3 people with you and at least a couple 100 feet of rope, because you're going to feel like you're in the middle of a cave when you get into this one. Okay, it's pretty cool.
You guys get into the real estate part, guys. Here's all the property stuff: DSCR, cap rate, cash on cash, equity, all that normal stuff, right? What Kevin is saying, care plan. Now it's going to help you with your care plan. Over here, it's talking about acuity. That means acuity, like the highest acuity is like memory care, Alzheimer's and dementia. This also gets into like injury, elderly. Are they just older and they just need a place that's maybe just, they get their meals, they get recreation, hang out with friends, play bridge, whatever, things like that. That kind of stuff. That's a lower acuity than like where they really need care. And then it gets into residential care or if there's an owner occupant, operator. Then over here, a staffing model. So over here, it's going to start talking about how many caregivers do you need a day and how many do you need a night. Separate it, because obviously you guys know people that work on graveyard shifts, especially in healthcare, are paid a premium. They're paid out more at night. Here's your charge nurse and your LPNs, your administrators and managers, for all your cooks and housekeeping. They can sit on your payroll and your labor costs. Then over here, you got your operating expenses. And then over next field, billing and payer mix. Well, they got to pay for it, right? You got Medicare, you got Part A, Part B, you got Medicaid, VA, and TRICARE. TRICARE is what people in the military, their families get while they're in the military. And so they also got private insurance and self-pay. Gets into all the billing. Over here, it sets up how to set all this up, occupied beds, all the ancillary revenue. Over here, it talks about the references. What a standard room is, what memory care high acuity is, what private suite premium for private suites is. It gets into all that. Then after you do all those fields, all those sections, then it'll finally come on to your deal summary. And at the end, you'll be able to generate a full analysis. So that is residential assisted living, guys. That is one of our tools over there. And it gets into all these wholesale calculators. Like I said, the RV parks and a couple other ones. So this gets into the tool store. You guys can go down and see all this. And then there's transaction coordination, which is pretty. And then also, like I said, we get into capital passport. This is the capital passport that's in the highway. Pretty cool. All right, and we can go more into this. You guys can. I'll give you guys the Gumroad link, and then you guys can kind of maybe decide, what you like, what you need. Let me get back here to share screen. And we're back into the GPT. So, like I said, I went fast. I'll give you guys a Gumroad, take a week or two, look through them and see which ones. You guys can get them all. Set up your Netlify. Like I said, you get 300 credits to start. That's free. You get 1,000 credits is $9 a month. I'm using about 1,500 credits a month. So you guys know as much of the stuff I'm hosting, you guys just saw it. So think about, you're only going to have 3 or 4 things in there and not going to be making changes. Probably $3 or $9 a month will suffice. Until you get really busy, you start making your own, because you will get addicted. You want to start, you'll start wanting to build your own. So do that, and then get your Anthropic key set up, and then look through the product descriptions, and just, if you got questions, hit me up. But they're going to be, all the zip files will have the PDF operator guide. It'll have the operator guide that you put on Netlify, and it'll have the Netlify HTML link. So you'll have all that in the zip drive. So you can just go grab Market Dominator or Intel Mine or whatever you want. Just go grab them, and you guys can go put them on there. It's pretty sweet, guys. I created some more additional ones for like, so like I said, I'm gonna do a couple more tools in the highway, and then here I'm doing buyers and sellers, which will have a match. You'll build a buyers list, build a sellers pipeline, and then there'll be a tool in there basically to help match them. So if you add buyers, then you got sellers, and then it starts matching people in your network. Build your pipeline. The other one, like I said, we're gonna build like one more component, probably a little more in deep, and then we're pretty much almost done. And then I'll start just tweaking. We'll do it, and that's going to be the affiliates program. We'll talk more about that later because we've got Kevin and Jesse and Paul and I got to talk about that over the weekend. Then I'll build it. We're actually going to pay you guys if you guys want to go out there and like, there'll be like, you guys will have some affiliate links and stuff. It's pretty cool that way. So anybody got any questions? Let's make sure we still got 9 participants. Cool. Anybody got any questions? Let me know. I'm going to go ahead and start processing the Zoom, but let me go through the list real quick. And yeah, if you guys got questions, let me know, raise your hand or something. I'll just go on there. Reginald, I'll get you. We'll schedule a one-on-one. Ginger,
Okay.
let me know too. We can do one. Matt, we got to still work on. I saw your stuff on your contractors, government contractors. Neil, I can get with you again. And Zahir, I can get with you. Depends on when we can talk about if you want to come on board or not. So Zahir is a guest tonight. He's here for the second time. If you got any questions, let me know. Anybody like I said, we can do the one-on-ones. It's preferable just try to do them in the afternoons or evenings that we don't have Zooms. Because in the morning I don't carry my webcam with me, so I can't really do Zooms. But so we can do like 1 hour, and we'll do 2 or 3 of them. So if you want to focus maybe one on getting your core set up into GPT stuff, and then maybe later on, do you want to pick out whatever? Like I said, they're all yours. You guys can just grab them when you want. And if you need a particular order, there's things you're doing. Like I said, Gumroad has a pretty good description. I'll post that link this weekend. You guys can just go there and see what any of these do, and then just go back to the Facebook group to files and download it.
The other thing is, you definitely do not want to skip the guides. We're really, the way these things are put together, you like looking at the program. The guides are just as good, if not better. And they show you and walk you through this thing. Okay. So you guys need to do that, definitely. And you need to take the group, okay, the Facebook group. That's your library. Everything and anything that you need that's not already on the computerized stuff is sitting in there. So you want to check in on that, because every time there's a new guide and system that comes up, it gets put there. And we're probably going to end up having an email thing set up too, where it'll probably come out by email within the next couple months. It's one of the things we can do with this system ourselves. We're going to show you how it works that way, but building a business with it. Because you guys have these other alternative businesses that are just kind of sitting there that come with this thing. We're saying use them. So other than that, that's pretty much all I've got.
Well, it does this real quick. I'm going to run over real quick and show you guys. I'm going to go down we're still going to be here for a second. It's only going to take me a second to do this. It'll print this is for the YouTube video. You guys also know the Delta Suite, guys. I'm going to ask it real quick to explain the Delta Suite, guys. If you guys need that one, let me know. The Delta Suite, I'm going to show you guys what that generates. So it's going to be making my, here's my hashtags for the video for the YouTube.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely gets one's attention. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's a little overwhelming right now. So trying to all the stuff.
I'm glad you said that, because I'm not too far behind you on that.
Yeah. I'm like,
I'm
my
just
mind's
sitting
kind
here
of going,
digging through it. I'm going, yeah, it doesn't matter. That's one thing.
Yeah.
You need to have a rope, and 2 or 3 of you just kind of go in this cave together, because you're going to need some way of getting back out of it. Yeah. And eventually it's going to be addictive to some people. It is definitely going to have its entertainment factor here. Okay. This is not going to be unfun. And then you have the fact that you're doing something that's never been done before in a way that probably will never be done again. That all is part of this. And it's an experience that is well worth the $399 that y'all put into it. Okay.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Just think about that. We're never going to let that down. Okay.
No.
State and I both are going to be hammering over the head over the $399.
Okay, and think about
No.
the reason I created different ones is because there are some people that need different things. Like some people need more help with capital. I didn't want to give them like everything, because there's no way to build one thing.
Yeah, you got to take it one step at a time too. Don't take it. If you start getting fatigued and you start getting frustrated, step back from it for a little bit. Let it sit for a little bit, and then he's breaking these down. Yeah, he's breaking these down the way he's doing it so that you guys can take it one bite at a time and not get overloaded. But definitely start with the manuals, and do not forget about the Facebook group. It is the key to your library, people, and you can send it. You can communicate with each other. You can do all kinds of stuff in there. That's why it's there. But that keeps all your stuff, okay? So if you need any questions, or if you need any guides, or if you think you might have missed something, it's going to be in that Facebook group in one of those files. The zip file he's talking about. Oh yeah, okay. This is coming. We got more stuff that we're going to have to figure out here. We may have to start sending out CDs. I don't know.
Core is the GPT. You want to do systems, we made the access key for you. And then think about what you need if you really just want to go out there and you're wholesaling. That's all you're doing. If anybody's just wholesaling, use Market Dominator. Intel Mine, if you really, is great. Capital Passport. After that, it's kind of, you don't really need
you didn't tell them about the fact that they could be private money brokers. Really, some of these folks already know that. But three of us are Lee Arnold. Four of us are Lee Arnold students on this call. Okay, four of us on this call are Lee Arnold students.
So, guys, and I'll ask it how to do the Delta Suite protocol, and I'll give you that because everybody needs that. Everybody needs that. Guys, and that is a term that GPT called us. So I just came up with Delta Suite protocol. This is one of those 15 reports a week. I got this over the weekend. This is my nationwide. I get several nationwide. I get several to Colorado. I get other ones. You guys can see them all here. Weekly foreclosure. There's a few other ones. This is actually a national distress snapshot. Adam, you guys can look. It's really expensive to get a subscription. I'm able to scrape Adam and get all this information. 42,430 foreclosure filings in April, 18% increase year on year. Foreclosure starts up 12% year on year. And these are those off ramps. When I talk about off ramps, remember your on ramps, just your GPT icon. Going back to it, Adam, it's got your quarter one 2026, 118,727 foreclosure filings. This, guys, is your activity summary. This is national for the last week. It gives in a foreclosures, probate trustee. It's going to tell you weekly activity and how it's trending. It tells you when to, what it rates it. It goes, is even, is it up, is it down? Most of them right now are even, or they're up. The trends are up. So there's no trends that are down right now. Highest velocity markets, I'd like to know this, North Texas. Gives you all these zip codes: Frisco, Princeton, Murphy, Wiley, Allen, McKinney, Prosper. Gives you the zip codes. How'd you guys just go take these and just pump them into your markets under BuyBox, and how to start searching these? Go to Intel Mine, start pumping these in, and start looking for people talking about distress. It'll go far.
How many of those this last month?
Yeah. Here you guys calling. Yeah. Texas Metro.
How many? You take that, divide that amongst everybody. How many would that be, Nate?
I don't know. I didn't think about that. I'm trying to focus on.
Well, that's just it. We could definitely take a big chunk of that with this group, the way we've got this set up right now. We could handle and take down a good chunk of that.
So here you guys go. Like,
just think about that part.
Judicial states, what the inventory is: Ohio, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Georgia, Florida. It talks about that. Probate intelligence. Here's all your, for Collin County, Texas, you got all your probates. You can put these probate cases in there if you're interested in probate. Here's your tax liens and surplus activity, vacancy indicators. It goes through all these. You get the zip codes. It tells you what's going on in those counties. Gets into your zips and your spikes. Talks. It gives you all the intelligence. So you guys can go generate this on your own. Let me get back to to where we were at. like I said, man, you guys get through all this stuff. It gets down to strategic read. It's the highest probability. It gets into the official sources, and you guys can click on these, the off ramps. You can get a foreclosure for Collin County. You can go to tax sale inventory. You guys can go see the Adam report. You can go see the Q1 report. You guys just click on those and go right to it and get those reports. Bring them back, put them in your markets and into your BuyBox. That's pretty much how you. It's pretty cool.
That's gonna be coming handy for me because I'm doing like overage surplus kind of stuff right now for like mortgages, stuff like that. So that's really handy.
You'd be doing a lot of work at those county courthouses, aren't you?
Yeah, I am. So yeah, I'm gonna be starting doing state funds in Florida, but you got to have a PI to do those. But I still can get a lot of lists right from this stuff.
Yeah.
Well, how many other states do you think you can play in? Because there's like 20 or 25 that are in that game. You know that, right?
Oh yeah, there's a lot. That's just where the program I'm in that I'm going to start in. But I'm going to do Texas as well, and then some of the other states they don't need a PI, so I can do any of those state funds. So, but I'm just starting with they had a program
so you're planning on having some real fun here. Is that what you're trying to say here?
Yeah, and and it's funny. They have. If anybody knows anybody that like companies that pay like over $100,000 worth of tariffs in the last couple of years, we're actually helping these companies get their money back. So for a fee, anyway, but it's kind of cool. So because they don't even know it sometimes. They don't even know that they're owed the tariffs. But so if y'all hear anybody that needs that service, let me know.
I think we can work something out on that too. Yeah, I don't think it'd be hard to find a way of getting that done.
Yeah, just need like information on the CFOs and stuff like that. So I've been trying to run some lists trying to find that information. But I found some, like the companies that would be more likely to do that. I ran through this service and this chat GPT.
Nate, I think you might just have another node or another module right here with what she's talking about doing.
All right.
I think you guys you need to develop that because that's just too much sitting there.
Yeah, it's a lot. So I mean, there's only a short time period. It's like for the next, because the Supreme Court did it. So
I've already got a lot of stuff in the official post and other than I can generate that pretty quick. But let me finish this.
Okay. Sure. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to get off track.
This is the Delta Suite protocol. Guys, and like I said, Delta Sweep is a term that GPT uses. That's what it just calls these sweeps. Well, you guys saw that report I get 15 a week. So this talks about it's a change detection framework. So it's change detection, not lead generation. Think about it in a different way. So it's going to have a foreclosure list, a probate list, a tax lien eviction list. It's simply a snapshot in time. So the Delta Sweep is going to track what changed between snapshots. The Delta is where opportunity often appears. So guys, this walks you through it. I'm having it generate a PDF with a prompt. I already have one in that the core operator guide. I'm gonna make another one. I'll put in the Facebook group for RCIC and for associates. You guys can pull this. It talks about the Delta Sweep and how to generate those reports. And so you guys get through it. It'll help with when the net is filed to sale date. You guys will be able to generate all those reports like I do. Well, those links are. You can go there and pull the NADs, the NADs. You can pull all that stuff. You can start feeding your BuyBox and feeding your markets. Just start generating all your deal flow. So you guys, it talks about a whole schedule, day 14, day 21. It talks about that because a lot of these counties, Jefferson County and where I live, they release every Thursday morning. They'll release tomorrow morning. And by tomorrow's Zoom, I'll have 4 reports for tomorrow, like those. I'll have 4 different ones. So this will actually go through what your step 1 is: official source collection. It's going to help you gather data from AHJs, recorder offices, public trustees, courts, probate, tax offices, code enforcement, utility indicators, NED, which is foreclosure, NOD is foreclosure, list pendants, judicial foreclosure, because the NED and NOD are non-judicial states, list pendants are judicial states, probate, FED, which is for evictions, tax delinquency, and vacancy. And you guys get into, this is official sources only. Then you'll get a baseline snapshot. It'll walk you through the markets. What markets do you want? You go put in the market you want into that. It's going to help you. You copy and paste everything in that PDF, and you put it in there and you tell what markets you want it to sweep. So Houston, Chicago, Phoenix, Jefferson County, Colorado, Boulder County, Colorado. Go put in your county and your zip codes, exactly where you're at. It'll start sweeping. It's going to come up with case numbers, APNs, which are, pins for the addresses, status, sale dates, becomes the baseline. The second sweep is going to exact same search later, 24 hours, 40, 72 hours, and weekly. Then it's going to compare what changed, not what exists. Classify the delta. It's going to be new signal, never seen before, new foreclosure filing. There's also escalation, distress increased, de-escalation, reinstatement, cure, dismissal. Obviously, then it's no longer available. Opportunity event, sale continued, bankruptcy dismissed, overbid filed, vacancy detected, executor appointed, FED filed for eviction. Then it's going to score step 5, the delta. It has a scoring system. Step 6, route to your BuyBox. This is where RCI becomes the most powerful. Then it's going to help you route it to your BuyBox, where you can take 84 foreclosure filings or all 117,000 in first quarter 2026 and throw them to your BuyBox. And then it's going to go through all that. Pretty cool, same delta. Then it's going to deploy the highway, HTIE Intelligence, the delta sweep, GIS, and skip tracing, deal analysis. Remember GIS? They use GIS to program 911, to do zoning, pretty much everything. You guys, GIS is like all the satellite stuff that they use for land management. Then you get a deal analysis, capital passport, offer strategy, transaction coordination, close. We call it the highway, opportunity to close. It gives you an example. Here's in my county, West Layton Place, Littleton, Colorado, when the NED was filed, what the balance is, when the sale is. This is actually an active file, by the way. Nothing special yet. Week 3, it's going to go through and check, is the NED still active? Sale date unchanged, owner now vacant, tax delinquency appears. It's going to go through all that. And then it's going to follow that deal, the Delta Suite. And so you guys know, here's the PDF guide I just made. And I made you guys an editable docx version. I will load both of those into both Facebook groups tonight after we're done. So it'll walk you through it. You don't have to, I know when to buy fast. Most of the stuff when I'm going by fast, I'm just telling you guys, we got the PDFs, we got the operator guides. So I'm pretty much showing you guys what's available. You guys decide what you want to use and go get it, put it in there. If you guys got questions, we do it on the one-on-ones. Because I can slow it down that way to exactly what you're doing, because originally you and Ginger may be doing completely different things. So I'm trying to say your one-on-ones would be completely different, according to what resources you want. And then I can guide you through what you need out of it. That way there is no overwhelm, like we talked about earlier. You don't have to go, hey, I got 11 things to decide about. Maybe you only need capital passport, and maybe you just want Intel mine and you want to use systems, the highway, because right now you want a more structured approach. If you want more structure, if you want to build GPT, we're in it right now, core. If you want more structure, use the highway, use RCIC systems. If you want a lot of firepower, you want the Pentagon, the CIA, the NSA, and all that working for you. Guess what? That's when you get all the apps, and everything is like a combatant command in the military. You got Central Command and Special Operations Command and Transportation Command. Think about that now. You got Intel Mine. You got all your intelligence services. Then you got all your operational. So think about that's how, the highway. So don't let it get overwhelmed. Like I said, I'll give you guys the Gumroad. You got these PDFs. Look at Gumroad. Don't buy anything there because you've already got it. Just use it for the product descriptions, because it'll tell you exactly word for word what that does. And then you can go, okay, I need this. Go back to Facebook group, to the files tab, download it, and then implement it. If you need help, we'll do it on a one-on-one. So if anybody has any questions, let me know. If you guys want to set up your one-on-ones, let you know. These will be posted within the next 15 minutes or so after we're done tonight. We're going to log off in about a minute, about 6:10, so it's 6:09. If anybody has any questions, let me know. If not, we'll do some more introduction stuff tonight. If anybody's going to be on tomorrow night, I'll make time tomorrow night for everybody to kind of go over what they're working on individually, especially if you guys are looking for, you want to get your name out to the lenders and stuff like in the grid for maybe some projects or something you're working on if you guys need some help with other people. Otherwise, like I said, reach out to me. We'll set up your one-on-ones. So I appreciate you guys' time tonight.
Thanks, Nate. Appreciate it.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
Catch you guys later.
Yeah, Neil.
See you later.
Voters are here. All right. Yeah. All right. See you guys.
Bye.